Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read. So I'm going to be doing 3 different types of spreads today. The first one is going to be for singles, and the next one is going to be for committed, and the last one is going to be for complicated. I'm going to be doing specialty spreads. There's going to be a timestamp in the description box below the video, so you can pop forward to whichever version resonates mostly with you. You may find that you resonate with 2, even 3, who knows. Life is funny, right? So we're going to be doing specialty spreads today. I'm going to be doing a hermit read for those who are single. I'm going to be doing a lover's read for those who are in a committed relationship. And I'm going to be doing a death spread for those who are in a complicated relationship. And I'm going to be pulling qualifiers. Don't be scared by that last one. That just means transformation, right? So the reason I'm pulling the hermit energy, right, for those of you who are single is because the hermit does indicate going it alone for a while, very typically in relationship if what you've been involved in up to this point hasn't really been meant for you, right? It's time to work on yourself, think about past experiences so that no mistakes are repeated in the future, and just really trying to get in touch with your personal truth and really doing some solid self-analysis here, having to do with relationship. So let's see what we can figure out about what's gone on with your particular situation. Guys, remember, general message. If it's not your message, please don't try to make it fit. Take what resonates, throw out the rest, okay? Past events, temperance, impact of the past, death and rebirth. Emotions, Page of Wands, ambition, what you want, Star. What's holding you back, the 2 of Pentacles. What's going to help you move forward is the Page of Swords, okay? What you're hoping for, the 8 of Pentacles, and what the outcome is the Magician. Magician is the outcome. Very nice. All right, so we have the temperance energy. So having to do with relationship, okay? Because again, single, but this is having to do with relationship. So the temperance energy is about, being single. You might find yourself very energetically or spiritually pulled toward a new partner. It's a very, very emotionally intense time right now, I have to tell you, which is really, really nice. And I feel like because that's the impact of this is going to be death and rebirth, you're really allowing yourself some beautiful change. Because this does tell me that, this is about something having ended so that you were able to transform, right? I mean, that's what this is. This is about big changes, transformation, moving on, rebirthing yourself in a particular way. You being out of a relationship. Now, I do want to mention, though, too, for those of you who are single, it does mean energetically pulling somebody, you being very energetically and spiritually pulled towards somebody. But in the same way, I do want to just mention, just because we do have the death and rebirth card, I am feeling this may resonate with some of you, is that the temperance energy can also indicate a new level of trust and patience and cooperation can be had in a relationship after a really challenging time period, after a very, very volatile time. And then the impact of that, so like you're single, but then you guys have this conversation. So let's say you guys were broken up and you're single, and right, so it's this energy here. Now we have this idea of death and rebirth, which does indicate like the relationship ending, or there was a time of separation that was very necessary if this relationship was ever going to find its footing later on, right? Because the way that it's been up to this point needed to end because it really wasn't good for you. So it's all about this transformation energy. And numerology, this is connected to the Emperor, which is an Aries energy. It's about fresh path, new perspective, right? Mars rules Aries. It's about come on, let's go kind of thing. So however you resonate with that, some of you, it's going to be getting back, actually, like somebody reaching out to you who you were with, you having this resolution and in order to transform. So you go from single to like, I'm not even sure what I am kind of right now. For some of you, others of you, you're going to feel very energetically and spiritually pulled towards somebody, but while you're in this energy, understand that there is this need to release something from your past because you're going through a rebirthing process right now. And so you need to release, you need to allow the transformation, right? It's very important to do that. Now we have this working with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, remember the page is always, it does always indicate a new cycle in something. It's also the young'un of the zodiac, but this is good news coming in that requires some sort of compromising, right? And so from an emotional perspective, I feel like you're very open to the compromise right now, which is really, really nice. The thing is, what's taking place during the compromise with the Page of Wands energy, you may not be very blown away by what's being offered to you. And that's the thing, right? So you just want to be careful of that. You also want to be really careful that from an emotional perspective, right? And this is very much, know yourself. Like, do you get bored easily and move on to like whatever the next thing is right now, right? And I know that could be the result of, maybe you were in a lot of painful relationships in the past and you're just not sure where you stand on relationships. Anyway, this year Taurus is really going to be, now again, it does depend certainly on what else is going on in your personal chart. So, I'm speaking kind of globally as far as the archetype of Taurus, to be very focused on work. No, it's the next 2 years are really going to be all about your 10th house for you guys. So it's going to be a lot of career moves going on for you there. So you could just be very focused on that, where you meet these people, but you get very bored very quickly, right? This could certainly be the situation. This might have been the situation in the past, or you pulling energies like that toward yourself, right? But right now, you're just very focused on your ambitions. Like, your ambitions are very, very fired up. And I feel like a lot of you are, really very focused on the career area. And again, not that you don't want to be in relationship. Of course, you want to be in relationship. But I almost feel like some of you are sort of like still maybe holding some sort of flame for somebody that you were with, only because we get the Star card. The Star is beautiful. It really, really is. I mean, it's numerology connected to strength, which is about, is that 5th house Leo energy. It's about falling in love, romance, all of that stuff, right? So it's very much about that. But it's about hope, guidance, inspiration, right? But it's like this feeling like you're destined to be with somebody. And, and you being in the space where it's like, all right, it's time to find my soulmate. That's it. Time to find my soulmate. Now, some of you're either going to be in the space where you're focusing on your ambitions. A lot of you might be focusing on work and you're like, you know what, I have to pay more attention to my relationship sector. Others of you are going to be like, I'm paying a lot of attention to my work sector. And, what about that person who wanted to revisit something with me? Yeah, it does depend on your situation. So I hope this is not confusing you. I'm giving you kind of like two different versions. Some of you are going to be energetically and spiritually pulled towards somebody. You're going to need to leave the past in the past because you are changing, you're transforming, you focus on your work, and you're like, all right, now it's time to find my soulmate. Others of you are going to be conversing with each other after having a challenging time, making the decision to actually try to transform it. But you have a little bit of a wait and see attitude. You do. You have a wait and see. There's a little bit of a distance here. You're still focusing on you. You're not like giving everything up for the relationship, but yet energetically you do feel like on some level that you do belong with this person. Okay, so those are the different ways that it can end up manifesting. Now, what's holding you back is some confusion. We have the Two of Pentacles. So which pentacle are you going to put down and which one are you going to embrace? Because there are two choices here and you're trying to weigh the options, really is what's going on here. So there's this idea of needing to compromise, negotiate, right? Needing to make a decision though regarding more than one situation. And the thing is, you might feel a sense of lack in connection with one over the other. And so you're kind of trying to figure out like, okay, which one is ultimately not going to work for me, right? This can literally be the decision between, should I stay single or should I date? Should I stay single? Should I go back with them? Which way, and maybe you're just feeling this definitive lack of connection. It could certainly be it. But that idea of, should I do this? Should I do that? That could be giving you a little bit of analysis paralysis. But what's going to help you move forward is the Page of Swords. Really good energy. I like the Page of Swords. This is like all the air signs here. And this is auspicious for all areas of your life. This is about, definitely like new beginning, getting over past obstacles, getting what you want, thoughts becoming things, epiphanies, being mentally agile, having, these realizations, a lot of clarity all of a sudden. And that's going to help you move forward. Just get really clear. And what does that even mean? Get really clear on what it is that you ultimately want for yourself. Like, don't think about what you want for yourself now, next month. Think down the road. Think 5 years from now. What do you see? And really try to figure out a way of manifesting that. And I know a lot of people have a really hard time doing that, but you understand, manifesting something does not happen overnight. All of these people who say this in this community, it makes me a little bananas because that's just so illogical. It's just simply not the way life is. It's not the way energy works. Energy works in stages. It doesn't come in as an absolute storm. Even the most aggressive energies, there is a certain sense of buildup, right? And so there's this layering, right? So that's the way it is, with everything. So, making smart choices and those choices, accumulating for a particular outcome is really what it's all about. So we have, what are you hoping for? 8 of Pentacles. So you really want to figure out relationships because the 8 is the number of mastery. Right? And when we're doing relationship reads, coins can mean money, of course. It can be it can be focusing on your responsibilities in a very diligent and hardworking way. This could be money and connection being on its way to you, and all of these results coming to you as a result of your past efforts, and all of that is great. Right? But in general, when it comes to relationships, then you need to have a very logical and a very diligent approach to this mental, physical, and emotional connection that you want. And you want to be able to do that. You are a Taurus. You are an earth sign. You are the youngest earth sign. You are ruled by Venus. You're ruled by love. You want to master this idea of mental, physical, emotional connection so that you can bring it into your energy. There's no question. But even if you have people entertaining you in your space right now, it's like you see something very specific in your mind's eye that you really, really want. And then we have the outcome energy, which is the Magician. And I love this because this is a beautiful energy. This is action, problem solving, being really creative. This is about manifesting everything that we're talking about here. But this is a very alchemical energy too. And what does that mean? That means mixing. And it's mixing. It's Mercury. Okay, this is straight up Mercury energy. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is about communication and learning, and Virgo is about problem solving. Okay, so it's bringing those two together, speaking in order to communicate. You have to communicate in order to find out about people. You have to communicate about what your wants, needs, and desires are so that they're met. There's got to be a fundamental element of communication going on with this energy. I really, really like this. In numerology, this is connected to the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. This is really beautiful. So it's like you've reached an epiphany, a point, and that point is going to bring you in a very destiny-driven direction that's going to ultimately result in you having a very beautiful connection. But it's through manifesting. There is a lot of manifesting here. I have to tell you, you guys are the last energy that I'm reading, and this is the strongest reading that I've gotten that really does call to task the idea of manifesting. Make sure you stay really, really open. And what does that mean? Pivoting your thoughts. If you start to feel yourself getting very negative about relationships, literally pivot your thoughts. Don't allow those thoughts to grow. Because what happens is you start to focus on that and then it grows wings and fangs. You don't want to do that. You pivot your thoughts. Think about what you can control. Focus on, say, oh, that was the past. The past is the past. It doesn't have to dictate my future. Whatever happened in the past, okay, fine. I'm going to forward. And whoever is not on that forward plane with me, I don't have the time. And I'm going to be honest with you, from an astrological perspective, the archetype of Taurus, this year, you are not going to have it in your arsenal to deal with a lot of drama and all of that stuff. You're not going to have it. You're going to be very, very focused on other things. Let's just say that. You really are. You're going to be focused on other things. You're going to be focused on where you're going in your life. You just really are. You're just going to be focused on where you're going, what you're doing, your reputation, your standing in the world, the macro idea of your career. Focusing on creating a strong foundation for yourself, right? Because the 10th house and the 4th house work together. So definitely I see you manifesting. I see you being in the right space. I do definitely see you feeling very drawn towards somebody, and that's awesome. I also can see you saying, I don't know, this is like, I really want to master something, and I want to bring it to fruition. And I do see you manifesting. I do. And you know what the key here is? To not sacrifice what it is that you really, really want, what you really need and desire. Absolutely. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. We have the Five of Swords energy, and the Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius. So there's going to be a clash of desires and reality. So there's going to be this tension and ongoing conflict between, you know, what you really want to do and what you can do, having to do with relationship. But I feel like, you know, and that could just have to do with your schedule. That could have to do with COVID. That could have to do with money situations. Could have to do with anything. But we have the Lover's energy here, which is really beautiful. And this indicates you being with somebody else who really wants to work something out with you. They're in the same space as you. But this does require a decision. It doesn't just happen organically, where it's like you guys are like, okay, so work is really crazy or whatever. I have all these other responsibilities. I have life going on, and are you okay with that? And you know, maybe them saying the same thing to you, but you guys being on the same page, saying, yeah, let's do this. Let's work this out. Ace of Pentacles, beautiful, new connection. I just kind of see like two things going on at once here. I see new relationship, new career, new job, or new path, new something having to do with money. Maybe you're doing exactly what you're doing now, just like a little differently, something, because it's Ace. This is something new here. And it's not, you know, I'm not making this about career, but, you know, it is coming through. So I want to tell you. Okay, let's pull a couple of Whisperers of Love. See what's going on here. Love who you are. Woo! You are divine, delightful, and deserving of wonderful things that life has to offer. Absolutely. And I feel like you guys know this. I just feel like you guys are just going to be feeling better about yourself in general. You guys have had a rough couple of years. Rough, even like having to do with like career and not feeling really satisfied and all, you know, but the energy is so positive. You have the great conjunction in your 10th house. So hello. Okay. Really nice. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Just acknowledge it as truth. Beautiful. Let's pull one more. Have patience. Be patient. I like it. All right, my friends, those of you who are single, it looks good. Lots of beautiful self-growth, not selling yourself short, being super focused on what matters to you. Love it. Okay, my friends, let's go on to our committed. And the reason I'm using the Lover's energy, Taurus, for those of you who are in a committed relationship, is because the Lover's energy is not about butterflies and roses and unicorns and all that cool stuff. It's really about needing to make a decision in love. And so this could have to do with something to do either about your relationship or within your relationship. So it could have to do with a family situation, or a couple of signs got stuff about property or about children, you know. So it could, you know, life's big, right? It's bigger than just the sum of us, right? So let's see what ends up coming up. Okay, so what decision is being worked on here? So about what decision is Taurus committed dealing with here? Oh, we have the Hierophant, this marriage card. So the Hierophant is, well, it's more than marriage. It's, you know, this really is about spiritual direction, connection, tradition, commitment, emotional development, expectation too, conformity, needing to conform to something. So definitely, you know, the Hierophant, though, it's like expectation, but societal expectations. And I always like to use the example here of like, you know, if you guys have been together for a long time and you're in a monogamous relationship, there is this expectation that no one's going to cheat. Therefore, if you find out that your partner is with somebody, it's problematic because you didn't have that conversation that would be acceptable, right? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. Like, this is what I expect. This is what we need to conform to. This is what's expected in this type of relationship, okay? So we have the Hierophant energy for that. So for some of you, this could indicate marriage and honoring the sacred in your relationship. For others of you, there needs to be this decision regarding something having to do with that and regarding the need or the ability to be able to conform in the expectations that are presented in a relationship. So we have the background. Let's pull all the cards first. We have the background. We're going to have two choices. Best action to take. And the outcome. Okay, so background of this is the Nine of Cups. So beautiful. I mean, come on now. We have the wish fulfillment, and then we have the Hierophant energy. That's fabulous. It's beautiful. So again, Nine of Cups, it's Jupiter and Pisces, for goodness sake. Happiness, wishes manifesting. Very nice. Feeling very connected to your own heart. It's time for growth. Old tensions dissolving away into the waters from the past. And then you guys deciding, you know, all right, let's do this, right? Something going on. But it does seem like there is this choice that you're going to make. We have this idea of the Four of Coins with the Sun. So it seems like somebody is being a little reserved. Now that reservation can be because of money, because the Four of Coins could definitely be being very, very nervous about security, right? This could also have to do with just being very self-protective, focusing on self-improvement, but watching your resources for a firm foundation. And you being kind of, you know, some people call it the Majoli card, but that might be an issue here, right? So when we're talking about the decision in love, it's like, should we get married? Maybe somebody doesn't want to really, you know, pay for that kind of thing, or whatever goes along with the traditional idea of marriage, like, oh, we have to have the big wedding and have the kid and have the house and well, you know, and I don't think I have the money for that. Do you? Kind of thing, you know, and that could be something that you guys have to work out depending on where you're at the moment. Now, again, maybe you guys are married already, right? And within this expectation and needing to conform within the confines of your marriage are these certain expectations having to do with financial obligations or having to do with responsibilities around the house and all of that. And the Four of Coins could definitely be somebody holding back, not giving, right, a lot, right? So, you know, the first choice here is, are you going to be in this space, though, of being really self-protective and held back, having to do with this? Or are you going to manifest the most amazing and beautiful connection? Now, some of you may literally, and this is going to sound silly, but some of you may literally be in the space of trying to decide whether you are going to or where you are going to go on vacation. Because the sun can indicate time away, can indicate a vacation. I mean, look, this is a beautiful energy. It is about beautiful connection. It's the numerology link is about the Wheel of Fortune. This is hitting a really good point of like a destined kind of epiphany going on here. This is like success, good health, you know, really being able to create what you want, right? Having everything available to you. It's not being given to you, but you having the tools that you need in order to make something happen for yourself, okay? Now, some of you, having to do with the sun, I do want to just say, there might be success and a position through which you can make more money, where you're getting a lot of deserved acknowledgement. But now the thing is here, it's like, you're not falling into a bunch of money, you're falling into the ability to make money. So it is this idea of your ability to make money, and then we have you holding on to your money super, super tight. Like, what are you going to do, right? Now, if this doesn't have to do with money, it could also be mental, physical, and emotional connection, which is you giving yourself 100% or you keeping 100% with the sun, or you keeping part of yourself very, very reserved and kind of closed off. Now, we have the outcome energy here as the, let me first discuss the best action to take here is the Knight of Swords. So let's talk about this, because the Knight of Swords, this is about very, very quick action. This is very unexpected stuff going on here. Unpredictable roller coaster, really depending on what your situation is. But this is like, expect the unexpected, and that is actually the best action to take. So it's very interesting because you have this idea of wish fulfillment and expectations, but yet your advice here is to expect the unexpected, because it does seem like something's going to be happening here. This could be a little bit of a challenging energy as well. I mean, you might be dealing with a Knight of Swords energy who's very determined, very driven, very forthright, you know, ready to fight for what they believe in, but at the same time they get bored really easily and they move on and they create drama and take no responsibility for reconciling and or making up. Like, they don't know, they they don't understand sincere I'm sorry. They know like the rhetorical version of, oh, I'm sorry, or I'm sorry you feel like that, or those kind of like passive aggressive kind of things. So you could be dealing with an energy like that for sure. But this definitely is about expect the unexpected is the best thing to do, having to do with this. It's a very interesting energy because they're so different. Like one is like self-protective and the other one is like, all right, here we go. But the outcome energy is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is actually an interesting energy. I mean, this is you, first of all, just being a free spirit, right? So it's definitely the right time to express your ideas, go after what you want. Don't allow anything like expecting perfectionism here in the relationship to get in the way of you thinking that this could actually manifest into something really even more beautiful, right? Because there's this idea here of being very wise with very high standards with the King of Wands, right? Very open, very self-aware. This energy doesn't like to judge other people, loves people who challenge authority, and all, like, really good, right? Very passionate, very communicative, and all of this wonderful stuff. There's a sense of security about this individual and also an element of passion. So really, really nice. But at the same time, this can certainly be an energy that expects perfectionism, or you might be in that space of expecting perfectionism. And, that could be the outcome energies. But the thing is here, you want to be careful of that because you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment because there is no such thing. That, like, whatever's going on is really like fine the way it is, but you want to be careful that you're not creating some sort of narrative in your head saying like this is the way something needs to be, or that somebody else is doing that having to do with you. I want more information here. The Strength energy, we have the Three of Coins. We have the Hermit. Okay, so the Strength energy has to do with you guys being tested. And if you feel like your relationship's been tested, things are going to improve, right? But there's a need for balance here, and there's also a need to you want to really try to make sure that sounds silly, but it is with the Strength energy. You want to make sure that your physical attraction to each other doesn't end up serving to mask deeper issues that need to be addressed. It does indicate somebody's ego is going to ultimately need to be stroked here for sure. And then we have clarifying that, we have the Three of Coins, which is all about building, right? This is a Mars and Capricorn energy, the Three of Coins. And it's about collabing too, right? It really is about collaborating, success. I always call this the architect energy because it's like you come in and you say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's draw the blueprints, right? And then you give it to the contractor, right? It's really about a successful launch, home improvements, or a sale. You want to be careful of others around you being really like jealous of your positive experiences right now. Detractors will only make you stronger, but that is definitely what I feel like is going on here for sure. So there's a lot of like strength, kind of look at me, look at my work kind of thing. Somebody's ego needing to be stroked, but then we go into the Hermit energy, and this is a problem-solving energy. It's definitely, you guys in a committed energy, you're really trying to figure out how to make anything like negative that happened in the past, really get in touch with that so that those mistakes aren't repeated. But it really is time to invest more energy and work to smooth over any issues that need addressing in your relationship. It's not a good time to just sort of say, I gotta work, or I have to do this, or whatever. So if you want a relationship to work, you have to make sure that it definitely does seem like you're very busy building, Taurus. It really does. But whatever energy you're connected with, you can't throw them to the wayside because you feel like, oh, they'll be there, or I'll deal with that later. I'm not saying you would, but this does indicate with the Hermit, because the other side of the Hermit is you going it alone. So you want to just be careful there. Yeah, and then we have the Three of Swords, which is the card of pain, heartbreak, the pain of a truth, betrayal, depression. The clouds of doubt are cleared here, and all you can do is face the reality of a situation that's played out here. Any confusion is gone now, and you're in a position to begin moving on from something that was really surprising to you or very painful, so that you can begin some real healing. So it does seem like there's this idea here of while you may be focused on your work, I feel like you're dealing with an energy who's also doing the same thing. You have this, there's a heavy ego here though. And they're very focused on building and Mars and Capricorn, and we have to do it like this, and yeah, we have the Ten of Wands. Something about this situation just becomes really overwhelming. Now, it's still a minor arcana. Ten of Wands is still a minor arcana. But this is the card of overwhelm. There's no question. I mean, this is, overwhelm, responsibility, burden, overload of demands. Catch-22 kind of situation. Your relationship might be neglected right now because of other things going on in life. So very interesting. I mean, you may be creating the Three of Swords, to be honest with you. You just want to make sure, I mean, if it's not you, maybe it's your partner that you're dealing with. I just feel like, Taurus, either you or the energy that you're dealing with, very, very thrown in and consumed by other things. Let's just say that. The Two of Swords, you're going to be at cross purposes with yourself. I mean, quite literally, this is feeling very emotionally like you're in a stalemate. You need to make a decision. You want to protect yourself, right? But the situation's not going to go away on its own. You have to resolve it now. So stand your ground, say what you need to say, and a decision about your future is needed here. What are you going to do? King of Coins. The King of Coins, very generous, hardworking individual who prefers being in the settled relationship, likes to be a protector, but has no patience for somebody who's looking to come along and take what's his. So he's very focused on his money right now, very focused. So you may be very, very focused on your money. You want to make the most of your time. You want to make the most of your assets right now. Very interesting reading I am feeling. I feel like I'm just going to keep getting a lot more of that. So let's pull some whispers of love and see what comes up. Consider your foundation. Look to your inner strength. Be in the present and dream of the future. Yeah, well, consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love. Look to your inner strength. You're stronger than you realize. You might feel like you can't do everything. Do you know what I mean? Because that can definitely happen to the Taurus archetype. Because you're very grounded, but you like to do things in a very methodical way, and you like to do things in stages. So it's not out of the ordinary for you to feel sort of overloaded by stuff, because you're very pragmatic and earthy in your approach to things. So if things come at you unusually quick, it doesn't feel natural to you. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. So. Mixed bag here. We get the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. Just put something on that. Yeah, we have the Four of Swords. But so I feel like you're in this space though right now of needing to heal from something, just taking a time out, step back, at a different perspective. Some of you may be like, oh, you know what? It's a really good time for me to start some really good therapy or doing some shadow work. Definitely figuring out a different strategy in order to be able to allow the evolution. Then we have cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning. It's kind of like replaying things over and over in your head, the kind of ruminating kind of thinking. Yeah, of course. And we have the Nine of Swords energy. Perfect for that, okay? Which is all about anxiety. It could be depression, 3 a.m. kind of, thoughts waking you up. We have Heart with a Key, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. So let's see what's going on with that. Okay, so we have the Six of Coins. This is very interesting because the Six of Coins is I have your back, you have mine. This is very much about family, generosity. And, if you've been struggling in the connection, things are definitely going to be improving. So it's opening your heart. But then we have the not today, not dealing with hurt, avoiding a conversation. Yeah, and this is you questioning whether you're actually in the right relationship. And we have the Boat, which is receiving what you need and just moving on, closure issues. And we have the Queen of Coins. The Queen of Coins is a very self-sufficient card. It really is. This is about being very reliable, very supportive, taking very good care of your body, mind, and soul. You really are, right? This can indicate marriage or money coming to those of you who are, in a solid connection. This can indicate good financial management, really nice sex life, fertility. So it does seem like you guys are going to be able to move past whatever crazy, stuck stuff you're in right now. It does look like you will. Somebody doing some good shadow work is definitely going to be the key here. It does seem like. So that is what I have for you, my committed friends. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we're going to go to our complicated Taurus. So the reason I'm using the Death card in the complicated is because this is about something needing to go or be transformed. So let's see what we get. Because obviously if something's complicated, something is not uncomplicated. Right. So you're going to need to either change the way you're doing something, release the way something is being done. Some past issue needs to be released. So let's see what's going on here. You might be together, you might not be together. It could be complicated. We have 8 of Wands. So this is what needs to be released. The 8 of Wands is hearing from somebody. So this may just need to be released. This is about good news coming in, If you've been feeling held back, you're moving forward, but this is what needs to be released. Like that, the news that you're waiting on right now, not coming in. And in the near future, we have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, the outcome here. 10 of Wands. Something became way too heavy in order to deal with that. Let's see if we can't get some. So we have here the Chariot. Chariot is about moving away from toxicity. It's really it not being the right thing for you, The relationship is likely ending because it's not ultimately good for you, really. I mean, this is numerology is connected to the Tower energy. And then after that, we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is in astrology is Gemini and Cancer. It's having a conversation about what you want, need, and desire to feel very safe and secure. It really is. You have very high emotional intelligence right now, Taurus, and you're not afraid of intimacy. You have what it takes, right, to have something very deep and loving. And you really need emotional honesty in order to make something work. Like, you understand that for sure, except you're dealing with the 7 of Swords energy, which is very dishonest. And this is a very, this is a challenging energy to deal with, right? And it's dishonesty, literal and metaphorical, right? Somebody might be actually taking your money, or they might just be trying to steal and trump who you are as a person, right? Where they're trying to invalidate your wants, needs, and desires. They can be an immoral person running away from responsibility in the relationship, overstepping boundaries, or just being selfish, right? So you're really going to need your instincts here and your wits to figure out the real truth of a situation. You might need to play them at their own game to find out what you need to know about this particular situation. So that's just a little heads up as well. Working with the Death energy. So yeah, I mean, the relationship ended and you guys are separate for now. You're just taking a little breathing room, whatever it is, in order for something to transform. We have the Magician working here. So the Magician is Mercury energy. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, which is the 3rd and 6th house. So this really is about communicating in the communication would be Gemini, to fix something, right? To figure something out, to problem solve. That's the Virgo energy, right? So that is what the Magician is. It's that alchemical energy, right? Having to do with that. So, really communication really needs to be a thing here. Any issues or any problems can be resolved here with a deeper understanding of each other's needs, right? This could definitely indicate a conversation about doing something sort of jointly, right? So maybe moving in together, buying a home together, getting married, a baby, opening a business, whatever it is. So, you know, good energy. But then we have the Strength card. So maybe somebody's ego ended up stepping in, getting in the way. Could certainly be that, right? In the shadow manifestation of this. This does indicate a lot of testing, though. You're trying to improve it, though, for sure. But there can be tensions here having to do with ego. Somebody has a lot of strong opinions, you know, and they need their ego stroked. So there does seem that is the issue here. Now, I do want to add, though, as well, that the Strength card is Leo, and Leo is the 5th house of romance, falling in love, love affairs, all of that. Like, not that deep committed kind of relationship. It's more of like flirting, love affair kind of thing. So I don't know if that ended up being an issue in this connection. It could certainly have been. But we do have the Moon energy ultimately, where you were feeling a lot of straight up crisis of faith, right? Emotional vulnerability for sure, confused, disappointed, feeling like you were totally let down, and that lack of trust that the relationship could actually make it to the other side of this was really pushing this decision about the relationship, which I feel like ultimately is about either you or the other person putting all of the wands down. You can't do it anymore. This is the energy of overwhelm and just too many demands. Again, just can't do it, you know? Just can't do it. And then we have the Temperance energy here. So we have the Temperance energy, which is actually quite nice. I like this. This is a new level of trust and patient cooperation can be had in a relationship after a pretty volatile energy, a volatile time period. So I do like that. This is a Jupiter energy, right? The numerology link is to the Hierophant, which is about, you know, stepping up to conventions and expectations and things that are expected in a relationship. Could certainly also be marriage, you know, anything having to do with the idea of marriage. But tempering, it's like, what do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? Everybody's ears are open, empathy, you know. Really trying to compromise as well. And then we have the Lovers energy. So Lovers is beautiful here because it's about recognizing that there's stuff. There are issues here, but you guys are in it enough to actually really want to work it out. And that's what the Lovers energy means. It literally means a decision in love is needed. So I really like this, right? Are you both equally willing to work on the foundation of the connection? Now, again, being that this is a complicated thing, you have to look at the patterns in this and previous relationships and figure out what your current partner can offer you that's more fulfilling in the long term than what they've been offering you or over what anybody else has offered you. And it's you being really, really honest and following your heart and working towards what it is that you really, really want. But I feel like you can do that. Remember, the Ten of Wands is only minor arcana. You just don't be too scared. Like, oh, you know, it's the ending of a cycle. I mean, there's an ebb and flow in relationships all the time. People who are together a long time understand that. You go through periods where you really don't like each other very much, and then you're madly in love, and then you don't like each other very much. It's all part of it. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, and this is clarifying the Lover's energy. I like this. This is very reliable, very supportive, generous energy, really understands what's necessary to work at the relationship. This does indicate marriage. We got a lot of marriage energy here, I feel like. So this idea of marriage for sure, money coming in if you've been dealing with some sort of money issue. This is very good for your sex life, good for fertility if you guys are in that space where maybe you're trying to get pregnant. So it's very interesting. This is an interesting read because it's like things were not good. Like you're waiting for them to communicate with you now. They're not going to communicate with you now. And if they do, they're not even going to be very honest about it. And then there is this space of trying to communicate, but you feeling very disappointed and disillusioned, and you saying the hell with it. But them saying, okay, no, wait. You know, let's try to figure this out. Let's do this. I don't even need any more of those, but let's see what we got with the specific one. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. That's both of you. Demonstrate love. Find out what's important to those. Okay. So we have demonstrate love. Find out what's important to the person that you love and love them the way they need to be loved and not the way you think they need to be loved. And they need to do that to you. I have a feeling that that's what you're feeling they need to do, because Taurus is really pretty good at intuiting what somebody needs and how somebody, obviously it's going to depend on what else is in a person's chart. So if you're cross-watching, I don't know your person's chart. I don't know what's aspecting it, but the archetype of Taurus is very good at being able to, is very intuitive regarding what people need in relationships. So maybe you want a little bit of that back, right? It really is. You get supportive, love me the way I want to be loved, not the way that you think you should be loved, kind of thing. And then we have physical touch. Okay, physical touch. Tender touch can mean so much. Tender. So very nice. I like that a lot. Okay. It's not going to be easy. Okay, it's not going to be easy. Right? We have Capricorn hanging out there. We've got Saturn. We have the 5th house, which is about romance. And then we have Aquarius. So I definitely see you guys working to connect in a different way to move into your future. I mean, that is really what I see here. Saturn is all about restrictions, rules, regulations, doing what's expected. That 5th house energy is Leo, right? It's about love, falling in love, romance. Aquarius is about the future and your goals and where do you guys want to go together. There's got to be a lot of communication here. So we have coffee cups, so meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, right? So I feel like if you guys haven't been in communication, you're going to be getting together. You don't have to drink coffee. It's just a metaphor. But, you guys talking things out. Then we have the golden mirror, though. And what are you guys going to be talking about? The fact that there is some narcissistic tendencies going on in this connection. Doesn't mean that there's a narcissist personality disorder, right? You can have tendencies. There's a gradation of it. You have to need a certain amount to get diagnosed with MBD. But if you have 3 out of 5, it's still an issue, right? But being very self-absorbed, narcissistic tendencies, they're being like too much of one side in the relationship with the golden mirror. And then we have Hand of Cards, taking a chance, risk, being strategic, but not showing your hand, taking a chance though. And then we have Engagement ring, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. So I do feel like whatever's going on here really is going to ultimately end up culminating in at least a very serious discussion about marriage. That is what I'm seeing here for you guys, for sure. Let's pull an astrology card. Semi-sextile, allowing, encouraging, seeing the potential in something, giving hope. Beautiful. Tempering something, right? We did see temperance, right? That's what a semi-sextile is. Very nice. I like it. Let's pull the final love card. Why not? No, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle. Wisdom of the Oracle. Go to the sea. Beautiful. Stay in the moment. Really understand what it is that you're feeling, right? You notice where she's got the binoculars looking at the past, and she's got the compass thing, whatever that is, the directional pointing towards the future. And what is she doing? She's sitting in her emotions and she's reading a book and she's just being, and Spirit's watching her and she's just allowing herself to be, which is what everyone should be doing this month. Let Mercury come out of retrograde, let everything square out. I mean, really, let all the energies just sort of get out of that one party house and let them scatter a little bit, right? No big decisions this month anyway. Just be. Save the big decisions for a few weeks, maybe even next month, okay? All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.